Anderson are not here today, and they said they would have someone who was going to help out. Okay, then I'll go over some food items, and then the cameras will take care of some base camp things, and then do we have anyone from medical? All right, we will email you medical things. Were you going to say something, President Drew? All right.
I try to control myself.
Thank you. And I was told it was so hot in here just to help you get ready for how hot it's going to be on track. I think my wife had something to do with it because she's so cold all the time. I think she tried to turn up the heat a little bit, which in this church there's no middle ground with the heat. All right. So I called Sister Pingle. She is the missionary down at the Mosida Trek site who's kind of in charge of everything. And I let her know that we were going to have our mom and pop training. And I said, what should we go over? And she said, everything in this chapter from the handbook. So we've emailed this out, and we wanted everyone to have a hard copy just in case we were having problems with email. But really, everything that you need to know for Trek is in here. So I invite you as couples, moms and pops, to go through this together. Prayerfully consider what's given, and prayerfully consider what your role is. And as you go through this, just write down thoughts and impressions that come to you. I bear testimony that each of you have been called and assigned as moms and pops by revelation. And as we have gone through this process, I've seen the hand of the Lord go through and work with our stake leaders and bishops as these callings and assignments have been extended. So have confidence and have faith that you can do this. It's going to be hard. I remember when my wife and I were moms and pops, I'd never been on Trek. We didn't do this up where I grew up, and we had no idea what to expect. But as we worked together and prepared ourselves and received the youth that were assigned to us, it worked out. And we had youth that were absolutely amazing, and they were go-getters. 2 of the boys in our family had been on Trek 4 years prior. They had just graduated from high school, and they were amazing, and it was fun to watch them just do their thing. We had a couple really young people, and one of them didn't want to be there, and he was a challenge. And I remember one of my memories of Trek is just watching him just head over this mountain, and I thought, I hope he comes back. I really did not know how to connect with him, but over time our whole family connected with him, and everyone started watching out for him, and it was a great experience. So trust the Lord, trust that He's going to help you with this. And maybe I'll mention, I was going to talk about this at the end of my little discussion here, but we have met how many times already? With 4 times, 2 hours each time. We have met with the Stake Young Men's and Young Women's Presidency with President Drummond, and we have been prayerfully assigning youth to your families. And I think we may be just a little over halfway done. And it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. But we go through each name, and we ask who knows this particular youth. And we are doing the very best we can to assign each of these youth to the families where they need to be. And we take it very seriously, and we have been praying about this, and it gets harder now that we have brothers and sisters already in that family, and we're just making sure that it's going to be a good fit. And we know that it's not going to be perfect. We know that there's going to be some things that may pop up, and you're going to wonder, why is this kid in my family? Trust the process, trust the Lord. There will be reasons that come out. And it may not be that first night at Trek. It may not be until a week or 2 later, but you will see that you have the people that the Lord wants you to have. As I went through this little section, I just highlighted a few things that I wanted to just quickly talk about. On page 34, and I'm not going to go through this. I know you're all bright, intelligent people, you'll figure this out. And if you have any questions as you and each other go through this, text us, email us, let us know how we can help. But on page 34, underneath your responsibilities, it says, love your Trek family and create unity. And I wrote down, love them. And I remembered this right as we got through Trek, our real kids had a hard time distinguishing between when we were talking about them or talking about our Trek kids. And because we loved our youth that had been assigned to us so much. And we talked about them all the time afterwards. And I remember, I think it was Spencer that was talking about, so are you talking about us or are you talking about the Trek kids? And they became an extension of our real family. So love them. Guide your family through shared leadership. Just use the youth. You don't have to do everything. Let them help. Now, as you see when we turn some time over to our committee chair people, this Trek's different than any other that we've been on. When we go up to Deseret Land and Livestock, there was a lot more responsibility on you as moms and pops. The food committee's taking care of everything. You don't need to cook. You don't need to find Dutch ovens. It's going to be so much easier this go around. And so we're doing that because we don't want you to have to worry about all these little things. We want you to worry about the youth that you have in your family. So let them help and give them responsibilities. It'll bring your family closer together. On page 35, your preparation there. Personal, spiritual preparation. These are things that hopefully you're already doing in your lives. But go through this list and make sure that you're preparing yourself spiritually. I think the bottom line is you need to have the Spirit with you. And these things here will help you have the Spirit with you. But the Spirit be with you as you prepare, and the Spirit be with you as you're on trek. So do the things that you need to have the Spirit with you as a couple. The physical preparation, again, things that you need to be doing right now, just get in shape. You're going to have plenty to worry about. Get your shoes broken in. You want to take care of the youth. You don't want to be one of the ones that constantly, I can't walk any further, I've got 50 blisters on my left foot. The blisters are going to happen, but the more you do right now to prepare, get your shoes broken in, the better off you're going to be. And you'll be in a better position to help lift and serve the members of your family. Page 36. I wanted to hit this kind of hard. Remember this is underneath family preparation. Remember, all families do not need to be the same. Each family will have its own personality and will develop at its own pace. Have high expectations for your family members. Explain to them the importance of working together as a family in order to invite the Spirit, so they will have the opportunity to have a positive experience and invite the Spirit in the midst of, into their midst while on trek. So it's going to be just like your own family. The more unified you are, the more efforts you make to love and serve one another, the greater portion of the Spirit you'll have on trek and within your own family. So work to be unified, and don't compare your family to others. There's going to be some families, I'm sure, that their kids are already going to know each other. They're going to click a little quicker than maybe your family will. It's all right. All these things will work out. Just keep trying, keep praying, and opportunities will present themselves while you're on trek that will bring your family together. But don't compare yourself and go, oh my gosh, the Smiths, look how well everyone's getting along, everyone's helping out. Don't do that. You'll drive yourself crazy. Take opportunities throughout the trek to understand the thoughts, feelings, and personalities of each individual family member. And I wrote down, it's easy to spend time with the outgoing and positive youth. It's really easy to just gravitate, and you'll feel gravitated to those that are talking to you, that are helping out, that are a little bit more positive. That's totally normal. But take time and pray for the ones that are a little bit more quiet. I guarantee you, well, I can't guarantee it, but there's a high chance you're going to have some youth in your family that probably didn't want to come in the first place. And they may not have the best attitudes. That's okay. You're going to walk the you-know-what out of them, and they'll come around. The more they walk, I think just pushing that handcart together, it's a unifying experience, and they will grow closer together, and they'll start being a little bit more open. Take opportunities to share your feelings and personalities with family members, individually and collectively. I think we all need to be genuine. We don't need to be someone that we're not. We don't need to try to be this amazing ma and pa. The Lord's called you for a reason, and as you just be your best self, the Spirit will be with you, and you'll be able to impact the lives of these youth. Just be your best and do your best. There's a lot of ideas about how to have these reflection and contemplation moments. Just read through those and prayerfully consider what you think will work best for you as a mom and pop. Brother Holmgren will talk a little bit about some time that you'll have to do these things, but just take time to talk with your youth, to explain to them just different things that are happening, and ask them to share their feelings. We've got some awesome journals that they've put together. There'll be time where they can write their feelings down and just ponder about what's happening. Those will be instances when they'll feel the Spirit, and hopefully they'll look back on these moments later on and really appreciate what they learned. All right, on page 39, Rules of the Road. I think the big thing here is you need to make sure that your family members are drinking water. When we've been up at Deseret Land and Livestock, we haven't really had to worry about the heat in the past. But where we're going to be down in Utah Valley at a lower elevation, as I was talking to Nathan Starr, who's over the medical committee, their biggest concern is dehydration and heat issues. So it's your responsibility to make sure that they are drinking. And we'll stop periodically to make sure that everyone's drinking, but just watch out for people. We've experienced in the past that the young women particularly do not like to drink water because they don't want to use the porta potties. And they'd rather just not drink to go in there. The missionaries have assured us that these are the cleanest porta potties in the entire state. I haven't seen them, I'm taking their word for it, but they make sure that they're clean and usable because they know that people need to use them, and we want them to drink. So it's your responsibility to just make sure that everyone's drinking. How you do that is going to be completely up to you. There's a couple suggestions about handing out little tokens or whatever, piece of string that they can redeem for a treat later. Whatever you think works best, but just make sure that they're drinking. Then right underneath that, the second biggest problem on Trek are the blisters. Now I've asked the medical committee to make a video that we'll send to all the parents, and they're working on that, but they'll go over all this stuff, and the parents can go over this with their youth before Trek. But just listen to your youth. If they are complaining about little hot spots on their feet, address those issues as soon as possible so it doesn't turn into a full-blown blister. And the medical committee will help you with that.
Brother Johansson?
Yes?
We were lost in the house last year. My sister-in-law's been a few times, and she's like, I know this sounds weird, but duct tape your kids' feet. And I was like, really? None of us. Like, and I want to say duct tape, it's like around the heel, like, you know, the base of the foot. Not one of us. And of course the kids were like, no, I'm good. No, I'm okay. And then like halfway through, they're like, Sister Jennifer, will you duct tape my feet? And we had no knowledge. So I don't know.
You know, I've never heard of it doing before the symptoms happen, but it works. Usually people, when they start feeling that first little hot spot, they'll put the duct tape on, but you know, the duct tape works. And in here it talks about wearing a nylon sock and then put your regular socks over that. Whatever you think is best for you as a couple, but yeah, bring the duct tape and make sure that you've got this covered because it's miserable. You were on the medical committee last time. How many blisters did you guys treat? Hundreds. Outside of the whole allergy issue when we had lunch, that was probably your biggest thing. So.
I think Walmart has all different colors of duct tape too.
That's true. Invest in some nice duct tape that everyone will want to use. But yeah, just listen to your youth. we're going to have a great medical committee that will be close by. They're going to be walking with us, and that's what they do. There's medical committee right there. They'll talk more about this later on, but just listen. Listen to your youth.
Eric, a little bit on the water. It's most important for us to hydrate in the morning, and so right after you have family prayer, make it a little game. Have everybody guzzle their water bottle right after morning prayer with your family. If they get water in the morning, it's the most important time to do that.
Okay. Now, whatever you can do, and you need to stay hydrated too. You need to be feeling well, so make sure that they're doing that. Thanks, Travis. And then just one other thing, walking with the hand cart down towards the bottom, page 39. Just make sure that when the pullers are out front, when they stop, they need to let everyone else know that they're stopping, or they're going to get run over. And so they'll go over all the hand cart stuff at the orientation we had the morning of Trek. But that's kind of a big one. I don't think we have the pot gut holes. Those of you who've been up at Desert Land Livestock, they have these huge holes right along the trail. And I'm glad I didn't see any of those when we were down there, but those were a little bit of a mess. We were really worried people would step into it, the pushers. And we had the people up front call one way or the other, pothole on the left or right, so that people weren't breaking their ankles. I think our biggest issue down here is going to be the sand. It's very sandy. It's right there on the shores of Utah Lake, and so it's going to be dusty, and I think it's going to be a different kind of challenge than what we've had before. On page 40, campground etiquette, respect quiet hours and be considerate of your neighbors. I don't think we have a problem with this. I think everyone's going to be really tired when it's time to go to bed, but there will be some really tired people, so just make sure that your family is quiet and respectful of the sleep of others. And then under keep your family together, I just highlighted family ties are strengthened when family members work closely together throughout the trek. As a mom, pa, as a company captain, it's your responsibility to be with your family or your company. You may have great friends in other companies, but we really want you while we're trekking and while we're doing family activities to stay with your family and just help build the unity within your family. And I think that's all I have from here. Just a couple other thoughts I had. Begin now to pray for your families. Even though you don't know who they're going to be, pray for them. And pray that the Spirit will be with them. And seek to have the Holy Spirit, as I mentioned. Pray for the gifts of the Spirit now. Pray for faith, hope, and charity. Pray for discernment. Elder Bednar defined discernment as seeing with your spiritual eyes and hearing with your spiritual ears. And that will help you see the good, he said, in others. And you'll need that. You'll need to know what their needs are. You'll need to be able to see the good in these young people. And that will help you as you work with them. Work on this together. Both of you will have the Spirit work through you. Go through the chapter together, like I said, and prayerfully discuss the best way you can approach this together as a couple. Now, are there any questions? Please.
I did about the family name and flag.
Yes.
I saw that. Is that something we do as mom probably before?
Are you going to address that? I'll hit on that. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah. And that's a big thing. You'll do that first.
Are you encouraging the youth to bring a refillable water flask or?
Yeah. So each hand cart you'll have, you are to bring 2 5-gallon water coolers. And the missionaries will supply the water and the ice every morning. But you'll fill those up before you head out. And the youth they'll need to bring a refillable. And when we stop, you'll have those coolers. There's a little thing on the back of the hand cart we'll show you, but you'll have your cooler bungee corded to this little plank that comes out. And water will be available at all times.
And you said 2 of those per cart?
Yeah.
Is there a list of items that we are responsible to bring in here?
Yes, at the back. So there's packing for the trek, and then it's everybody's stuff, and then on the very back is your packing list from on top. And then on the tarp there, I personally feel the bigger the tarp, the better. And we've got a hand cart here, and we want to thank the cameras for going down and bringing up the hand cart. We're going to try our best to make a little shade, show you how to do that. But as we stop for lunch and things like that, one of the issues, there's no shade down there. There's just no shade. And so the best way to do this, and we only brought up one hand cart, but you'll just put 2 hand carts together like this, tilt them up, and then just put your tarp over the top. And so really, the bigger the tarp, the better. While we're trekking, you'll want the tarp over all your stuff on the hand cart because it's going to be really dusty. And that'll help keep the dust off of everything. But once we stop to eat, you just put those together, those of you in your companies, and then just put the tarps over the top. Please.
When are you planning to have families set so that we can reach out to you prior?
Right now, we're planning on, you'll find out probably what would you think of the night before or the morning of? I think the morning of.
I don't know when we'll give you the names, but the kids won't know until they get there. So you will need to reach out to them.
The way it's going would probably be just before. It's taking a lot longer than I thought, but yeah, we'll let you know when we have those ready for you.
Please, any big brothers in each family, or
Where are we with the big brothers right now? I know that they're being called.
Most of them have been assigned,
Okay.
not assigned to families, but.
No, they
to companies, or
they'll
no,
be
we'll
assigned
assign them to families.
To families, yeah.
So each of you will have a big brother who will help you. It'll be an adult. Yes.
I don't know if this is in practice somewhere, but what do we do if there's like a torrential downpour, like it's just pouring rain?
That's why you need to start praying right now.
Actually, that might be really nice.
Don't jinx us, Rob.
There'll be pluses
6
and minuses.
inches of mud and you pull your car out.
You know, yeah, we'll just have to deal with it.
Go for it.
Yeah, we're not gonna, there's really no cover, so we'll just have to kind of gauge the situation as we go.
Since we're rolling with a figure 8.
Go ahead.
We had a torrential downpour on the very first truck I went on. I think Danielle, you might have even been on that one too, do you remember? And the first, they were just drowned rats, but by the second night, they figured this out. And so they had all the companies got together with their tarps, and it was amazing to see this group of companies with all their tarps together covering their companies. So you'll figure it out as you go, but the youth, they're pretty ingenious on how to handle the rain.
Yeah, I'd rather have heat than rain, but that's me. And just seeing how sandy everything is, it'll be a mess. Okay, another question.
Since we're figure 8, should we set up our camp once, and then are you gonna make us take it down?
it's actually 2 different spots.
Oh, they are 2 different. Okay.
So we'll go out, have lunch, come back, and then we'll camp there that one night. The next campsite's not too far, it's like a half a mile away, but it will be a different one. And base camp will take everything about all our tents and our sleep bags, and they'll move that for you. On the hand cart will just be your buckets, the things you need while you're out there. Base camp, they're gonna take care of all that stuff while we're out. And they and the food committee will bring lunch out to us. So lunch is kind of the farthest point. And then we'll eat, and then we'll make our way back for dinner and camp. Any other questions? These are great questions, thanks. All right, so I just want to end with my testimony that this will be one of the just amazing experiences of your lives. And hopefully the people that have already done this will back me up on this, but it's an amazing experience. It's fun to be with youth. It's fun to be with youth that you don't know. And I remember sitting there when we were trying to decide the name of our family and design our family flag, and I just kept thinking, how am I gonna get to know all these youth? It happens. And we had a little Trek reunion a couple weeks afterwards, had all of our Trek family over for just an evening together. And it's an amazing experience how everything works out. The Lord wants you participating. He wants you out there, and you will be blessed. But I know that this is important to the Lord. It's amazing how these things do work together. It's amazing how much money the Lord is willing to spend on Trek, but He knows it's important. The pioneers, our ancestors, whether they are pioneers or not, made some huge sacrifices for us to be where we're at today. And I don't think our Heavenly Father wants us to ever forget the sacrifices that they made. And this is an excellent opportunity for us to remember what they've done and to to basically be willing to make our own sacrifices for the gospel and for each other. I know that the Lord lives and that He will be with you through His Holy Spirit as you seek to magnify this calling and assignment. And I leave that with you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right, we'll go ahead and turn some time over to Corey.